Welcome back to another episode of the Hot Mess Medium podcast. I'm your host, Natasha Mack, the Hot Mess Medium. I am a mom of 4, an evidential psychic medium, as well as a mentor. I mentor people, entrepreneurs, business owners, how to either develop their mediumship abilities or develop their intuitive abilities. So yeah, because I believe when you learn to develop and grow your intuition, your life improves tenfold. Like, I truly believe that. It happened to me. It's happened to so many of my clients and students. And there you go. That's my intro. Okay, so let's get into this. Oh my goodness. So what are we talking about today? It's a mystery. It's a mystery. I'm really excited to see what comes through. I decided to just sit my butt down and hit record, and moving forward, I am going to be releasing an episode weekly, okay? I'm going to make this happen. I even have some accountability to help me with that. We are releasing an episode weekly moving forward. And I mean, if I miss 1 week, it's not going to be a big deal. My intention is, of course, to release one weekly, but if life happens, I'm not going to be a dick to myself, right? And I think that's so important. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to be consistent, blah, 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 which is great. But also, if life happens, it's okay. Nothing horrible is going to happen. You're just going to get back up and you're going to keep going, right? And I think that's what's important, is like having balance between holding yourself accountable, but also giving yourself grace. I feel like that is really important. And also, when you do hold yourself accountable for like not following through or not doing it the way that you had intended or whatever it is, to be like kind to yourself, because you're human and you're just doing the best that you can. Maybe someone needed to hear that, but yeah. So, okay. So this mystery episode, as per usual, I just set the intention to receive whatever messages and guidance are really needed at this time for whoever is listening to this, whenever you are listening to this, right? That's typically the vibe over here. Sometimes I have guests on, sometimes I have a plan, not that always works out, or sometimes I have like a slight idea of what it is that's going to come through, but honestly, this time I'm going in blind, okay? So, together, let's go ahead and take a deep breath, because when's the last time you paused and just took a nice deep breath? Maybe it was the last time you listened to one of my episodes. Or maybe it was when you went to yoga. Or maybe it was when you were so incredibly frustrated and overwhelmed and you had to do it to just like catch your breath. But what if you graced yourself with the gift of breath and pause more often? So let's do it together. Take a deep breath in through your nose and release. Doesn't that feel so good? Let's do it again. In through your nose and slowly out your mouth. And one more time for good luck, okay? In through your nose and out your mouth. Okay, so God, Spirit, Creator, what are my listeners needing to hear in this moment? What would be so supportive, so empowering, so helpful at this time for them, for their highest good? right away I have a message coming through. Actually, it's interesting. It's coming through as a bit of a visual. I'm seeing you walking along your path, okay? And there are things being blown out of proportion that don't deserve so much of your time and energy. There are things happening in your life, maybe your day-to-day life, okay? Daily life, that are getting so much of your time and energy, which is so freaking precious, by the way, that don't actually deserve or require that amount of time or energy. Okay, so I want you to sit with this for a moment and just think about it, okay? Knowing that I have a limited amount of time and energy each and every day. Kind of like, okay, let's say each day, you have this bank account. This bank account is representing time and energy. And every day it replenishes, right? And you get to decide where you are going to spend this time and energy out of your energetic and time bank account. Where are you spending way too much? Where are you being called to spend it more or better, right? How can you spend it a little bit better? And I mean, these questions, these prompts that are coming through, it might make you feel some type of way, right? Even as I'm saying this out loud, I'm like, ugh, shit. Well, when you put it that way, there are definitely some things that are getting way too much of my time and energy. And I'm a mom of 4, and I think I already said that, and you probably already know this if you're listening to this, but anyways, my point is, I feel like I really, really have to be careful. I mean, everyone's time and energy is precious, but I just mean I'm at a place in my life where I know that my time and energy is so freaking precious because I have 4 humans plus a business, plus my own body, mind, and soul, and plus a partner, right? And so I have to be kind of strategic in a way. And this makes me realize, like, there are times when, okay, instead of doing something that I could hand off to, my online business manager, or if there's something that could actually wait until the next day, or something that I can, I don't know, something that actually doesn't matter, right? Or let's say, oh my God, I get, some nasty comments on one of my videos or something. It's like I could choose to dwell on it and let it take up some of my capacity, or I can just realize, like, actually it's not even personal at all. Like, it's literally not even about me. The other day I had someone come into my DMs that I've never had any interaction with. Never, like, didn't even know they existed, right? And they came into my DMs and called me the C word, you guys. Oh my God, I've never been called that before. It was not to my face anyways. But yeah, they called me the C word, and they told me to go F myself, and they told me that I was a scam artist like every other psychic medium, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. This person must be having a really bad day, or maybe they've had a really bad experience with a psychic medium. I don't know. But I just, actually, no, I will admit, because I know some of you did see my story. I did actually share it in my stories at first, okay, for like maybe 10 minutes. And I think I wrote, oh my God, I feel like I'm tattletaling on myself, but I'm allowed to do this because I'm a grown adult. You know how you're told your whole life to be like a good girl or a good boy? And so when you're an adult, you're like, that's still like programmed in your brain. Anyways, so I said, what did I say? Something about like, hope you feel better after your little mantram, and sending you so much love, or I'll pray for you, something along those lines. Anyways, I deleted it because I was like, no, this is not worth my time or energy. And honestly, the thing that I am just gonna do is like, I literally did pray for them. I just prayed for him. I was like, you know what? He must be hurting in some way. He must have like pain inside of him. I am too compassionate, you guys. It's actually a problem. That's something that you should know about me. I am so overly compassionate. Yeah. And so that means even when someone is really unkind to me, I see their heart, I see their soul, and I see their pain. And I forgive them and have compassion. It's kind of like, what would Jesus do, right? That's kind of something that plays in my head when these situations come up. So yeah, anyways, wow, I went in a completely different direction. But my point is that if I would have left that story up, it would have taken up way more of my time and energy than necessary. So I had a choice to make, right? I could just release this, return to sender, basically, like any of this energy he sent my way. No thank you. Doesn't belong here. I don't want it. Returning it back to you, sending you love, praying for you. And that's it. If I would have left it in my stories for 24 hours, that's still in my orbit, right? That's like sucking some of my energy out of me. And so I decided not to allow that. It was fun though to be petty for just like 10 minutes. That was fun. Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, back to what I was saying before. So we have limited time and energy. Where are you spending it? You get to decide this for yourself. You have the power over this. Where are you spending it? Okay, obviously we have obligations, we have responsibilities, so that is something to consider. But, it's like reminding me of how I was actually making this excuse earlier this week. I was like, okay, what are things that I want to make like a non-negotiable, that I want to do weekly for my business, for my community? Like, what are these things that are really important to me that are going to help me make the impact that I want to make? And that is to, go live weekly, to do at least one live per week, to send out at least one email per week, and to make at least one podcast episode per week. And I was like, oh my God, that seems like so much. How am I going to make the time for that? And then I could hear my higher self be like, bitch, each of those things could literally take 5 minutes. Like, they could literally take 5 minutes. I don't need to create like a 40-minute podcast episode. I don't need to go live for an hour, I don't need to write this like long ass email that, only 50% of my email list is going to read. So it's just so funny how, there it is, the blowing out of proportion, right? That I said at the beginning of this channeling. It's funny how we do that. We're like, oh no, it's going to just like take up so much time and blah, blah, blah. Actually, is it? It's like incorporating movement into your daily life. Are you telling yourself it has to be so hard, so difficult that you have to do this like extensive 60-minute workout? Or can you just go for a 5-minute walk? Like, honestly, can we just go for a 5-minute walk? Does it have to be this like big elaborate thing? Oh my God, I just had to go break up a cat between my fight. Oh wait, break up a fight between my cats. Okay, not break up a cat between my fight. Oh my God. You guys knew what I meant, okay? Anyways, let's continue. So moving on from the previous message, let's go ahead and see what else wants to come through. Okay, so the other thing coming through right now is like, what can you do if you're really in your head, right? Because this is something that ends up creating so much avoidance. It ends up feeding that desire to like blow things out of proportion or to make things harder than they need to be. And so what can we do to get more out of our heads? And so what I'm hearing is to pause more often. So I know it's funny. I was saying this like in the beginning, pausing to take those nice deep breaths, like literally schedule that in if you need to. If you're someone who is often, on the go, you're super busy, you only have a few minutes between clients, or just, you are working a 9 to 5 and you only get certain breaks. It doesn't mean you can't literally just like pause for like 2 seconds and just breathe. Place a hand on your heart, place a hand on your arm, like put your hand on your hip and give it like a little hug. I know this sounds like so weird, but those are little things that are actually so supportive in helping you reconnect to your body, right? Because when we do that, when we can take a moment to just reconnect to our body, take a nice deep breath, that's when you create space for your inner guidance, your intuition. There's the rooster. He is saying hallelujah. Okay, he agrees with me. He is on board with this. There you go. He said it again. Amen. So take more breaks, right? Give yourself the gift of the pause to just breathe and be with yourself for a moment. Check in. What are you needing? When's the last time you had some freaking water? When's the last time you had a snack? Are you anxious and you're busy because you're busy, you're doing things because you're actually avoiding the anxiety? If you were to just take a moment and connect to, okay, like if anxiety was a messenger right now, what would it tell me? What is this anxiety coming to share with me? What does it want me to acknowledge? Maybe you'll notice that there's a part of you that is feeling unsafe, or a part of you, something that happened earlier in the day triggered you. Something, brought up those alarm bells in your body. So take a moment to pause and just be with it. Connect to your breath, connect to your body, and remind yourself that you are safe. Remind yourself that you are safe. I feel like that's so important to break up your day. And you'll notice that it's these simple acts that will actually help you hear your intuition more. It'll actually help you receive more of your own inner guidance, which is a game changer, because your intuition is there to support you and guide you and to nudge you onto the path that is meant for you, onto the path that helps you thrive, to experience more inner peace, to feel more connected and grounded. Like, that's what that is. That's what it's there for. But it can't chime in, it can't come in when we're so distracted all the time, or when we're so far away from ourselves, or when we're so in our head, right? When you're so in your head and you're overthinking everything, or you are trying too hard to control everything. And that actually leads me to this next piece, which I've talked about recently on Instagram. By the way, if you don't follow me yet, oh my goodness, what are you even doing? Definitely go ahead and follow me over on Instagram at Hot Mess Medium. All my thingies are Hot Mess Medium. But anyways, so I was talking about surrendering, right? Like, I mean, we hear that word tossed around often, but like, what does it actually mean? When should you surrender, right? Surrendering means that you are opening your arms up to receive. Okay, it means you are open to receive the support, the guidance, and the blessings that are available to you. Okay, it doesn't mean you're giving up. It means maybe you're giving up control, right? Because you don't have to figure it all out on your own. You don't have to control it all. You don't have to do it all on your own. You are so supported by the divine, it's ridiculous. But the same as like when you're super in your head, you can't hear your intuition. When you are super like trying to do it all on your own and figure it out and make it work or force it or whatever it is, you are blocking that divine support from coming in. So you have to open up your arms to, not like actually, you know what I'm talking about. Not like literally, but you need to release the reins, right? So anyways, when do you know it's time to surrender? It is when you are too much in your head, going in circles, trying to come up with a solution. Everything you've been trying has not been working. You are trying too hard to control everything or trying to force an outcome that just isn't happening. Has it ever happened before? Where you are just trying the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, wondering, what is wrong with me? Why isn't this working? When it's not that anything is wrong with you. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's just, this isn't the way. And so what if you gave permission to God, the creator, the universe, to show you the way, to lead the way, right? And that's why your connection to your intuition is so dang important. This is why I preach so much about, please invest in your intuition, develop your intuitiveness, okay? Because this is what allows you to really receive and know and understand your own divine guidance, okay? It is literally there to support you on this path, because life can be hard enough as it is, right? And so like this helps make it easier. It helps support you through those hard times. It helps you navigate it with more ease and flow. It's wild. Okay, anyways, what was I saying? So if you're doing all those things that I was talking about, right, where you're trying and trying, expecting a different outcome, you're forcing, you're too much in your head, all that stuff, and it's all depleting your time, energy, and spirit, which that seems to be the theme of this episode, right, is like depleting your time and energy, or not using your time and energy more wisely. So this is one of those things. If this has been coming up for you, and you know there's energy leaks in your life and or business, you know there are things that are draining you, you know that things are just not working, this is for you, okay? So the other thing is, when you're majorly unhappy and desire a serious change in your life or your current path, okay? This is also for you. So surrendering means you're allowing your higher self, God, the universe, spirit, take the wheel. You know that expression, Jesus, take the wheel. Well, like literally, you're being like, okay, take the wheel, because I can't do this no more on my own. And it's not a sign of weakness. This is a sign of strength. This is you accepting divine support, divine intervention, right? And it's also really important to know that you don't actually need to wait until things are really bad to surrender. You can surrender when you just feel blocked or stuck or unclear. But either way, surrendering works beautifully with your intuition. So be sure to pay attention to the following nudges and inner guidance you receive, right? Don't forget to do your part, because that's really important too. We pray, we set these intentions, we're asking God, we're asking the universe for these things. We want to attract certain things, but we're not doing our part. You have to do your part. What is your part? That is taking aligned action. It's when you receive those nudges, when you receive those inner knowings, those downloads, those ideas, when you are being led to do something or go somewhere or make something happen or step out of your comfort zone or face your fear, whatever it is, that is divine support. That is divine support coming in to help you achieve your desired results, to be your answered prayers. So you have to do your part, right? You are being given the ingredients to make your cake, but if you are not actually taking those ingredients, putting them all together, you're not going to get your cake. So that's like an important, loving reminder. How do you actually surrender? You can do it anytime, anywhere. I literally did it while I was driving the other day. You can just say out loud or in your head, to, again, God, your higher power, God, creator, the universe, your higher self. Let them know, like, hey, I surrender. I am totally open to divine support right now. I am open and willing to receive the nudges, the next steps, right? My next steps that are going to support me. And I am totally open and willing to take those next steps. Like, I am ready. I'm ready to receive. I'm done with doing this on my own. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you go along your day and you trust that those next steps are coming. You trust that those ideas are coming. You trust that the clarity is coming. But you just go along your day. You remain detached from it, right? You're not just like, you don't just keep checking. It's like when you know something's coming in the mail and you just keep like looking inside of the mailbox hoping it'll appear. That's not gonna make it happen, right? A part of surrendering is also surrendering to the divine timing of it, the outcome of it. You're surrendering to not knowing all of the details, right? Even like when you do receive your next steps, don't be like, well, I want to wait and see what my next steps are before moving forward. No, that's not how it works. You have to do your part. You take that next step, and then you'll receive your next step. So remember that. You got to flow with it and trust. That is all I have for you for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope that it lit you up in some way, or that you received the answers that you were asking for, maybe even if you weren't technically asking for them. And just know I'm sending you so much love, okay? If no one has told you lately, know that you're appreciated. You're so supported. And if you don't already follow me, go and do that. I'm usually over on Instagram. That's where I share all the goods. Get on my email list. You're definitely going to want to do that too, because I am going to be sharing my weekly newsletters there. Those are super fun, as well as special offers, special channeled messages specifically for the people on my list, things like that. So I also share when I have events coming up, whether they are online group mediumship reading events or in-person mediumship events. So definitely sign up for the list. And other than that, I think that is it. So until next time, goodbye.